Our next guest has sacrificed a lot. I owe her an apology.
What happened?
Julie Chang, I took her bulletin board. It was necessary.
What, a month ago?
Oh, it was like 2 weeks ago. It was a cork board. I needed it for one of the segments we had here.
And then what'd you do? You lost it?
I lost it. I can't find it. So I wanted to...
Look at Julie's face.
I'm confessing to you
She didn't know that. She was hoping.
I love how you say it on air so that I can't strangle you.
Well, I feel like there's safety in numbers. You know what I mean? If I did this one-on-one, I would feel worse than I already do.
Did you know that he took your chalkboard?
I did. When I walked in, it was missing.
I'm gonna go to Staples and find another one, unless Joe can find out what he did with it.
Here's how you can really make it up. Get me a pair of Christian Louboutins and we'll call it even.
Okay. I think that's fair.
I'll be at a $1,200 disadvantage, but that's all right. What do you got for us, Julie?
We're talking about Fashion Week, and really, folks, this cover of Elle summarizes what's going to be hot for spring 2010. Neon colors, short and length, 80s.
Who's going to be wearing
Victoria
that?
Beckham weighs about 50 pounds. In that
when
picture,
wet,
she does
right?
Right, when wet.
Yeah.
In that picture, I guess the camera does add 50 more pounds onto her.
So
but,
at this tally, she's
on?
about 12 pounds. Yeah, so this is going to be the hot look. I sat down with the creative director of Elle, Josie, for his take on all the highlights from this year's Fashion Week. The look. Micro mini dresses, wild prints, hot neon colors. Fashion Week was a defibrillator for the shy at heart.
Put the black away and dig out any color you have. The brighter the better. We saw a lot of neons. I saw a lot of candy colors. I think the biggest thing that we're seeing is this sort of sporting, athletic influence on the runway, but in incredibly chic clothes, like things you want to wear, like some of the best dresses, some of the best pants, and I think the funniest thing that we're seeing coming back is bike shorts.
Creative director for Elle, Josie says from DKNY to Jill Stewart to Tracy Reese to Max Azria, the theme for spring 2010 is short, short, and short.
You know what was great about Carolina Herrera and guys like Oscar de la Renta this season? They went younger, they went cooler, hemlines went shorter.
Lady Gaga was all the rage at the VMAs this year, no different during Fashion Week.
Well, I think the #1 most talked about designer has to be Marc Jacobs. I mean, I think, you started with the very essence of like, is Lady Gaga coming? Is Lady Gaga not coming? And I think that was a great anticipation for everyone, even all of us jaded editors. So, we're sitting there, the lights are going down, and at the very last second, Madonna is whisked in, but no Gaga. But guess what? She was late. She was standing by the photographers watching the show.
And while the economy has been tough on the fashion industry, the collections on the runways indicate that style will march on. As designers push the envelope, you should feel free to recycle.
I think it was one of the more creative seasons I've ever seen, and I think, is that a reaction to recession? Potentially. I think people want to have more expression during a difficult time, but it was some of the most beautiful clothes I've seen in a long time. But this is really just about the 80s coming back again, and I think if you had that big jacket with the shoulder pads last season, keep wearing it.
Shoulder pads are back, and just in case you guys want to know, I'm totally a fashion no-no come spring because, as Joe said, black out. Right?
Yeah, what you're wearing is not weird enough.
Yeah. Although my belt is kind of fun, right?
Yeah, where did you get that?
At the Posh sale.
$2?
Yeah, I think it was something ridiculously cheap like that.
You look terrific. I mean, a lot of the fashions are a little bit outlandish.
I know, the
what I mean?
bike shorts, the shoulder pads.
And that thing that what's her name's wearing on the cover of that magazine.
Posh.
You can't. No woman can go out like that unless they're going to be on a magazine cover.
Right, yeah, unless they're going to be on a red carpet somewhere.
You know what? I think in New York, a lot of women get away with what you don't think you can. I mean, they really can wear
But some of the 80s fashion, I'm sorry, it's not good. It didn't work in the 80s, and it's not going to work now. Some of those big shoulders, I mean, I like the modified, like, shoulder pads, but the big ones, you look like you're, some space
I don't have the guts
alien.
to rock the shoulder pads yet, but you know what? Josie, he has a segment in there called Style A to Z, and he breaks down how you can wear these daring styles and not look like a crazy person.
Daring. Shoulder pads were big in the 1940s, right?
Yeah.
It's like the best illusion to make your waist look smaller. So maybe I will go for it.
Okay, Miss Julie, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, coming up on Good Day New York, Jennifer Aniston is going to